this fucking...
Okay, guys, we are live. We'll discuss the Peeing in the Aisle at a different time. Episode 63. Defenders
when you gotta go,
Suburbs.
you gotta go.
Yeah, when you gotta go, right next to the bananas. As always, we got a special. Not as always, but we have a special guest tonight, DruManchu, and we always let them go first in quotes. And he has a deep, silky sounding voice that would make Barry White crane his pants. So go right ahead there, DruManchu.
All right. Well, my quote is not from a movie, but it is from a television show. And
Dang, he froze up.
You froze, man.
Is it from Frozen?
Man, this is gonna be a tough. This is gonna be a tough quote to get.
Oh, I froze. Did I freeze?
I'm gonna say it's from Frozen.
All right. Let me go again.
All right. Yeah.
People call me Foggy. You let them?
That is from the Defenders.
That's Defenders.
Oh my goodness!
Coming out swinging.
Relevant.
Spoiler territory.
If you haven't watched the Defenders by now,
Foggy's in there.
And Midwest Comic Band, if you're sober enough, please go ahead.
Okay, my quote is not from a comic book movie, and I'm still sober presently. We'll adjust that during the show. It's from the early 90s, I think. Zero cool. Crashed 1,507 computers in one day. Biggest crash in history. Front page New York Times, August 10th, 1988. There you go.
One of my favorite movies.
Angelina Jolie topless.
With the pixie cut, man. That was hot.
Yeah.
Wearing PVC.
I used to swear up and down that guy was Chris O'Donnell. He looked just like him, but it wasn't him.
I swear, he just said swell. He swells. Is that what you said, Jeremy? You swear.
No, I used to swear that guy was Chris O'Donnell, but it's not him.
We're talking about Angelina Jolie and pixie haircut. And you said something about swelling, and I'm like, okay. Mike, before you jump into your quote, give us an update on that chat. We got quite a few people in here chit-chatting.
Yeah, we do. Before I do that, I want to give a special shout-out to someone who might be watching right now. I'm not sure, but that's Wendy Meeks. Wendy Meeks, if you're watching this, you're fucking up. You should be working right now. So that's all I'm going to say. In the chat, we got Jason Smith, as always. Don, the comic book junkie.
Hey, what's up, Don?
Strange. Reviews from the Gap. What?
How are those khakis?
Reviews from the Batcave. Thank you guys for that shout out and a nice shot of the woman's ass. That was awesome. Aim High Comics. Brian Spaceboy 227. SS Comic Reader, Jock Yo, Bruce Zayas is here.
Oh, Bruce Zayas.
And Bruce Zayas. And Blackpool is here. El Comic Box, he said at the beginning, hello everyone, can't wait for the show. Well, wait no longer, my friend. And my quote is from 1991. Geez Louise, Yogurt, you sound like we are trying to defuse a bomb or something.
It's got to be Spaceballs.
Nope.
No, you're not. Yogurt is not Spaceballs?
Nope.
Wow, okay. I thought I was 100% spot on there.
Geez Louise, Yogurt, you sound like we're trying to defuse a bomb or something.
Got me.
Really? Monster Squad?
It's probably something I've seen. But...
Debbie Does Dallas.
No, that was before the 90s.
Week.
Oh, was it? Oh, well,
yeah.
See, I don't know my adult films. Sorry.
All right. It's from Toy Soldiers.
Oh, my goodness. Dude, I haven't seen that movie in forever either.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen.
Oh, yeah, that's the one with the guy from Lord of the Rings in it, where they're like trapped in that school.
Yeah, the terrorists take over the school and they work their magic and love that movie.
Me too, man. I hadn't seen that in a long time.
And Trinity.
Okay, I'm not sure what your mind come out. It's not a comic book movie. But the first character says, Carl Lee, come over here and see what's wrong with this lawnmower. Character looks at it and goes, ain't got no gas in it. Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're copying. Oh, you copied me from last week.
Yeah.
I think he did a little better impersonation than I did.
And mustard. Mm-hmm.
French fried taters. Mm-hmm.
What you aim to do with that lawnmower blade? I aim to kill you with it. Mm-hmm.
Okay, and mine is a quote. I'm known for trying to do horrible impressions or horrible anything.
Here we go.
It could be from 2 movies. So if you can guess both movies, then you get it. If I were king of the forest.
It's a Wizard of Oz.
No,
Just
come
no.
on.
Robin Hood, Men in Tights.
No, that's an old movie. 1939 was the original.
Oh. Wizard
Debbie
of Oz?
Dallas.
Put him up. Wizard of Oz, yes. But you don't even know the... Oh, my goodness. I can't talk.
He said
Name of the
Wizard of
movie
Oz.
I don't get the reference.
It was actually in
Yeah,
Rocket
the
Man
Wizard of
2.
Oz.
He does that, too, when he gets given the a little medallion before he flies into space from his supervisor.
Aren't they remaking
Harlan
I'm
Williams does it.
confused.
Who's
I don't think I've
confused?
seen that.
Me?
You haven't seen Rocket Man?
What? I
No.
have seen Rocket.
I think they're remaking that.
Well, since I just totally screwed that up, we'll go ahead and move to the comics. So we will start with Drew. What's your first comic for the evening?
All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and pull up Astonishing X-Men #2. On there. Astonishing X-Men #2. All these dead X-Men on the cover here. Enjoyed it. The art is Diodato. It's for me normally. I didn't like what he was doing on Infamous Iron Man, but I really enjoy his work here. I enjoy Charles Soule's writing as well. The X-Men are kind of in a playhouse watching a play, and they're watching their own lives be told through this production. And the production's actually being controlled by the Shadow King, Xavier on the astral plane, and it really cuts to the core of a lot of what's going on with these characters. There's some really great stuff with Gambit and Phantom X, who are at each other's throats constantly, quipping at each other. Dynamic for this team. I enjoyed it, and Mistake shows up here, and I really enjoyed the issue, and I like what they're doing with this story. It's very wordy. It's very heavy read. It's not a quick read at all. But I really enjoyed what they did with it. Definite stash for me.
And Mike, you read that one as well.
I did. Like Drew said, I love the stuff between Gambit and Phantom X. I loved it, the fact of bringing Mystique in. Other than that, I really didn't care for this book. I hate when they do, like, bring people into the what's the shadow zone or whatever.
The astral
do
plane.
that stuff. The astral plane. Thank you very much. I don't dig that. I don't like when Green Lanterns are based in outer space like they are now in Green Lanterns. So yeah, this was actually a blast for me.
Wow, blasting the X-Men.
Pretty cool cover though.
The cover is sick. The variant with Mystique, that was really cool too. I saw it at midnight when I went to pick up metal, and it wasn't there when I got back in the morning. So,
see a variant for this at my store. Interesting, because I love Mystique.
So yeah, I don't know if you guys saw Legion at all, but I really enjoyed the way they used the astral plane in that show, and I got a lot of that vibe as well because the Shadow King was the villain in that show. They kind of brought a lot of Farouk from the show into Farouk in the comic, which for me was a welcome change.
What show is that?
Legion.
Oh, Legion. Okay. See, I never finished that whole season. I only watched like 5 episodes. I think I haven't finished it up. So
yeah, it gets really good towards the end. So that's where all the action is in the last couple episodes.
Okay, Paul, what's your first book for the night?
Let's get it out of the way because everybody's going to expect me to slam it. Generations Wolverine. I really dug this book. I've mentioned Marvel occasionally shows what they used to be, and they do that in this issue. Story was great, art was great, everything about it was great. This is probably my pick of the week, and then I now expect a rapid descent back into craptacular stuff. Fuck Marvel.
Next week it's the Thors, the 2 Thors.
That'll probably
I'll
be
pick
good.
that one up too, because yeah.
Is Jason Aaron writing that?
I'm not sure. Oh, Stylish.
Oh, Mike, you did not read that.
No.
But Jeremy, you did. What do you think of that?
Yes, I did. It just right off the bat, my co-pick of the week. If I'm not mistaken, Tom Taylor wrote that, didn't he?
Yeah, he's been writing all new Wolverine.
That's what I thought. He also writes Injustice too. I love his work. Or what I've read of it, it was great. It was really cool seeing Logan on the pages again, and seeing their interaction. Like the first, they not know who each other was, and then they kind of figured it out, So yeah, it was pretty awesome, man. And like the way it ended, I kind of didn't want it to end that way. I wanted it to be like you have more adventures with them together. But yeah, that's my co-pick of the week.
I really dug the introspective ending to it.
Yeah,
it was introspective and really great the way that they ended it. It was sad. I really liked the characterization of Laura. I enjoyed the fact that, unlike the other 2 Generations books so far, this completely served its purpose. The Generations isn't like an event. It's supposed to basically catch people up on the characters that haven't been reading them. So like if you haven't been reading Totally Awesome Hulk, that Hulk book is supposed to catch you up for Legacy, let you know where he's at. This does that perfectly. It's a character spotlight on Logan, and it does it perfectly, and there's no fuss. It's just them fighting ninjas and a little bit of heart-to-heart. And as far as, what's going on, Logan just basically says, what, are you from the future or an alternate timeline? And he's like, don't even tell me. So it's like, don't even worry about it. Don't worry about what's going on here. Tom Taylor's like, yeah, we're not going to worry about that, and just have fun with this.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed how they did that. And he's like, I don't need to know who you are. I can smell you. You smell like me. And it's been a long time since I've seen my mother's eyes. And that was enough for them to just be like, yeah, let's do this. We're on the same page. And you didn't get that in the Hulk book. That was long and drawn out and did nothing. Jean Grey did the exact same thing, where it was like long and drawn out. There was nothing. You got to see Galactus, but beyond that, who cares? And this was actually really, really good.
Jason Aaron is writing the Thor one.
Oh, well, that's going to be great. Aaron's Thor is amazing.
Ezra, yeah, and Ezra is doing the art. I would have probably preferred Coipel because he's been doing some amazing stuff with Thor, but
I like Daughterman. Yeah. Daughterman's work's been good.
I read this too. It was nice to see the old Wolverine back, not Old Man Logan. I think that's kind of what the old readers have been missing, because Logan's been gone for quite some time. It was cool to see the old costume as well. Some of the interaction I thought was pretty good. There's a little bit of beef I have with some of it, but it's very trivial. If that doesn't make enough for me to hate it, like the whole thing of why are all the ninjas standing in one spot on the plane, that was kind of a little weird. They cut him out and then they all fall down to kill him. Sabretooth looked good. He looked pretty menacing. Big brooding guy like he's supposed to be. And Wolverine, I think, looks more like the Hugh Jackman Wolverine, essentially, from the movies. He's not this big buff guy like he's been drawn in the past. So I think maybe they're trying to make a connection more with the movies as well for new readers. Like, hey, this is kind of the Wolverine you're used to seeing, with the wife beater and it's not. Hugh Jackman's pretty ripped, but he's not like big, bulky, like some of the other drawings of Wolverine. But this is definitely a stash. I didn't read Jean Grey, but I read Hulk, and I'm glad this one was good, because I was worried that this was going to be just as bad as the Hulk. So this is definitely a stash for me as well.
I love that panel where you were talking about they're on the plane, and Sabretooth is there, like Laura, like grabs him and like tackles him off the plane.
Yeah.
Like they hit the ground and Wolverine's Sabretooth looks up and Wolverine's flying with his claws out.
Yeah.
And he's thinking in his head like she moves like me. She's still coming up. She's completely devastated and she keeps coming. Like every bone in her body is destroyed. She keeps coming. She's definitely me, a part of me.
Yeah, I dug the panel where he realized she has the claw on her foot, and he's like, "Oh shit, I can't do that."
Yeah, he's like, she's a lot like me, and he goes, "Oh, that's new."
Yeah, that's new.
Okay, Mike, what about you? What's your first book for the night?
As people jumped into the chat, Seeking Nearman Comics is here with us now, and where is it? Timothy1225. He popped in here saying, "Hey all."
Cheers, Timothy.
Let's see. You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna do metal only because I didn't care for it. Go ahead, shoot your guns at me now.
Ooh.
What the hell's going on? So I'm gonna let you guys take this one, and someone explain to me what the hell's happening in this book.
Okay, we'll move on to Jeremy.
Metal. That's my pick of the week. Basically, Batman. In casting in the Forge, looked into the abyss with that machine that he was building from the New 52. And when he did, he opened up the dark multiverse, and there's multiple versions, dark versions of Batman. Like it could have went wrong. Like they're coming. Well, there's the Batman Who Laughs. There's the Dawnbreaker. It's all kind of different versions of Batman coming, but it's all got to do with that nth metal and all that other kind of stuff. The nth metal, it's all connected to the Thanagarians, which is Hawkman and Hawkgirl. Aquaman's trident, the Dynasium that was used when Batman and Joker fought in New 52 and they fell down in the cave. And then the last panel of the book basically just blew my mind. I didn't even know who that guy was until I Googled it, though. Then I was like, wait, what? But, yeah.
Your
Jack
pick of the week.
Jack said metal is dumb. Voltron Justice League, really? Morpheus, really?
Voltron
really
Justice League, that was sick. I don't care.
Yeah.
I mean, it was corny, but at the same time, Capullo drew it, and it was sick. Voltron Justice League for the win.
I don't know. This I wouldn't say it's my turd or stinker of the week, but
definitely not.
Maybe I need to, to quote Phil Hartman, my caveman brain cannot, grab all the concepts that are going on in the book. The Voltron thing at the beginning was, I thought that wasn't needed in the story. I don't see where that fit into the rest of the story. I thought it was kind of contrived and kind of weird. It didn't fit. But there's Voltron monsters, there's dinosaurs, there's this, there's that. So I was a little confused on everything was going on. And I'll ask this question before I jump off. So they talked about the 52 different universes, and they flipped it over and said, there's a whole dark universe. Now, is that one dark universe, or is that 52 dark universes? Does anybody know that? And I'll just pass it on, and we can talk about it later.
It's a dark multiverse.
Is it a dark multiverse?
Yeah,
okay.
There's the regular multiverse, and then you flip it over, and
Nobody knows. It could be anything.
Yeah, that's the thing I was wondering.
Yeah.
But Drew, what do you think of Dark Knight's Metal?
I really enjoyed it. I'm a great Capullo nerd, though. Anything he draws, I'm all about. I don't even care for Spawn at all, and I'll pick those up and look at those. Anything he worked on Spawn, did some pencils on, I'll flip through.
Speaking of Spawn,
at all, but I'll buy anything Capullo. I loved Reborn, and I think that Snyder giving him different things to do was absolutely epic. Batman wrote a dinosaur.
Yeah, so I was going to say Batman wrote a velociraptor.
Like there's so much nonsense that happened in this book that was just so much fun to watch him draw. Normally if it was in a Brian Hitch Justice League book drawn by Brian Hitch, it was a Voltron Justice League, I dropped that book immediately. But the fact that it was drawn by Greg Capullo, I was like, I am in for this. I would watch that guy draw anything. really enjoyed the fact that they brought up multiversity, which was the storyline that built that multiverse map. I like the fact that they referenced that. I like the fact that Snyder's going back into the DC multiverse stuff, which is something we haven't seen in Rebirth yet. So, I mean, I dig it.
I did Siki Nearman said, smoke a joint and read it again.
What I smoked a joint before I read it the first time, and I enjoyed it.
I really loved the whole part where they were trying to figure out how to beat that thing, and the Toy Man said, I called it what was he called it, Fulcrum something, and it was like Batman was the only one to figure out what it meant, and basically what it was is Toy Man, he was being held captive by Mongol, so Mongol made him create that thing to try to eat the Justice League, and the Justice League, he had like used stuff to like dampen their power so they'd be normal. But to enable to help them out, he hid like different things, like buttons inside their mouths, to where like whenever they were gonna get eaten or whatever, they could hit that, and it would like turn them into where they could control the dinosaur thing, like the robot things. And then it was like Fulcrum something, and the Flash made a joke. It's like, we're completely fault. And then like later on, like a few pages later, you see they're flying through space, and Green Lantern's making a ship, and then Batman's like this way, and he's like, you realize you're not flying this thing, right? And Flash is in the back seat, like, I thought my fault joke was pretty good.
That was that was pretty funny. I dug the fact that that Batman kind of like they took the opportunity, especially when they were in the island. They're like, oh, you shouldn't have let Batman near any of this. Like his deal was like, I'm going there, I'm going to steal that piece of metal, and then I'm going to ghost out. And he's completely good.
And then because they turned around, it was like he's gone. It's like, I bet he's got some kind of sophisticated way of escaping. And it shows him riding that dinosaur. He's like faster.
I don't know. We've been getting a lot of Tom King Batman lately, which I do enjoy. I enjoy the more character-driven Batman stories. I enjoy them giving him a little bit of pathos and a little bit of humanity. But I also enjoy Scott Snyder's Batman, where somehow, no matter what, Batman is just a complete badass, and there's nothing you can fucking do about it. I love that.
Yeah, man. I love Snyder. I'm loving Tom King's work on Batman right now, but man, Snyder is my favorite Batman writer. So,
ditto.
Okay, Paul. What about you? What'd you think of it?
Well, let me preface this by saying I'm a huge fan of Snyder and Capullo, but I kind of fucking hated this. I thought it was terrible. I mean, everybody's talking about Voltron. For me, it was first thing I thought of was a Constructicons and Devastator, and then you get a couple pages in, and I'm definitely more of a Silver and Golden Age fan. So they take the Blackhawks, which were a great fucking awesome team. They take the Challengers, the Unknown, and turn them into throwaway Hawkman sidekicks. I'm like, what the fuck? I flip back to Big Ben and make sure I wasn't reading a Marvel book. And then you got to the last page, and I'm like, oh god, another comic I love. They're gonna fuck this up too. So it was probably my turn of the week. I just didn't like it.
Well, I think
Mike, everything else wanted to add?
Slow burn of
like this wasn't a bad book. It's just so much going on that the last before Rebirth, the last Batman I read was freaking when his back was broken by Bane. So there's a big gap. There's a big gap of stuff I just don't get, and that's probably why I don't like this book as much as people who stuck with DC all this time. But I don't know. I'm not feeling it so far. But like everyone is saying, yeah, I mean, this is the start of a big story. So give it some time. I'm gonna still keep picking all these metal books up: dark metal, shiny metal,
hair metal,
hair metal, baby metal, whatever metal they're gonna throw at us. I'm gonna still keep picking it up. But
I'm kind of like you, Mike, too. I never read any of the New 52 stuff. I'm almost done with my Batman New 52 run. I have like 4 issues left to go, and then I'm gonna plow through that. I mean, I could buy the trades, but I I'd rather buy the single issues. So I'm almost right there. Now, I said I didn't like it, but it doesn't mean I'm not going to be picking up the other issues to kind of maybe hopefully figure out what's going on with the story and hopefully might progress enough to like it. And he's showing off Batman #1. I don't have mine signed, but I do have a Batman #1 first print.
Oh, man, I'm so geeked to have this.
I'm kicking myself for not getting mine signed.
Too. I'm going to keep picking it up because, one, I'm a glutton for punishment, and two, maybe there's a chance it'll get better. But
okay, so anything else, Mike?
Oh, no, sir. No, sir. We're good.
Then jump on to Jeremy. What's your first book?
My first book will be Batman 29. We'll go ahead and go with that one since we're talking about Batman. It was good. It wasn't pick of the week material. Like I say, I'm liking it. It's just, it's not as good as some of the other issues that were coming out of Tom King. But it was basically him got all the guys over, like the different, teams he's trying to work out a way to call a truce or whatever. They don't know he's Batman. He's just got him as Bruce Wayne. And that's basically pretty much what happens. I mean, he's got him. It's a big dinner party. I liked it, though. It's a stash for me.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting. They're going through different courses of the meal. They're talking about how, what they would do to Batman, essentially. And, here Bruce Wayne is offering, was it $1 billion to who can come up with the best idea. And it really, he's taking the lesser of two evils. He's trying to figure out, okay, what team's going to win and what has the best chances of beating the other. And I'll kind of back that team, I guess. And it was kind of a nice filler story to kind of to build the story up on what's going on with this whole jokes and riddles, war of jokes and riddles. It's no action in it, period, but it's just a good story builder. It's a stash, just because I do want to finish up that war of jokes and riddles. Let's see who else read that. Drew, you read that one as well?
Definitely read that. War of Jokes and Riddles so far for me has been lackluster. You said there was no action in this issue. There hasn't been action in any of these issues. You got to see, a little bit of Deathstroke and Deadshot in the last issue, but not much. They didn't show you anything. It was just them sitting on rooftops for the most part.
Yeah.
This for me was better because it kind of delved into the character more of the Joker and the Riddler. Mm-hmm. I really don't care for Tom King's take on the Riddler. There weren't too many clever riddles, let's just say, in this issue. The Joker, on the other hand, I laughed out loud at 4 places. I put it down and laughed out loud. Knock, knock. Who's there? Europe. Europe who? No, Europe who. That right there, the opening of that book, I got geeked out on that. That's ridiculous that I would laugh at that, but I really did. And the fact that the whole time the Joker's got this scowl on his face, that nothing is funny to him, but at the same time he's still making these jokes. I really enjoyed that about the Joker. I think the fact that, the Riddler went on a tirade of why. Damn, he's a charlatan. There's nothing special about the Joker, and that's why you should pick him. There's a whole log, and the Joker basically just says, he's the Riddler. Who cares about the Riddler?
Yeah.
And that to me was so perfect. I didn't like Bruce Wayne interaction as much in this, but I really like what Tom King did with the Joker, and I'm excited to see where this ends up, and what the big secret that Batman has is, and how this has affected him. Like I said, I prefer a Snyder action-packed, full of ridiculousness Batman, but this issue was good in my opinion.
He basically only had them didn't he basically only have them meeting, and he was asking them all these different questions just so he could figure out which one he's going to side with?
Yeah, pretty much. I think so.
And I was like, it's crazy.
Mike, you read that one too.
Yeah, like Drew, I haven't been feeling the whole jokes and riddles thing, but I really enjoyed this issue. Like you said, nothing much happens. Joker and Riddler sitting down. Alfred's cooking all these meals, these platters for him, and it's like a dysfunctional family dinner. I mean, they're pulling guns on each other. They do come to one agreement, though, that Batman is a thorn in their side, and it's good stuff. I really enjoyed this issue compared to the other ones. So this one is a stash for me as well.
It's like Reviews from the Batcave says, Joker was hilarious even at the end when Bruce asked them to release their hostages, and Joker may have killed his before he came, but he'll check when he gets back.
That was one of the 4 horsemen of times I laughed out loud at this point.
So real quick, Drew, did you read the I Am Bane storyline from this run, and what do you think of that one?
I really enjoyed the art in that. I did not enjoy the story as much. I liked the character arc for Bane, where they kind of drew comparisons to Bruce's upbringing and his upbringing. I like that stark comparison. But as far as, the story itself, Tom King kept repeating himself and repeating himself. It's a very repetitive story arc. Like, if you read it in trade, it's like the same thing over and over and over again. It's like one issue where they kept repeating something, and then they kept saying it again in the next issue. I think that as far as the art in that book, that was incredible. Some of the stuff they did with Catwoman's infiltration. Who did that? Yeah, I really enjoyed the art on that. As far as the story, I felt that everything Tom King has done has kind of softened up Batman. I kind of don't dig that. I like Tom King's way of getting into a character's head. I loved Vision. I really liked Mr. Miracle last week. But I don't think Batman's the kind of character who needs somebody in his head. He just needs to be a badass.
I agree. I didn't like.
I definitely prefer. Yeah, I don't dislike it. I think it's fun to kind of look at Batman from a different angle, but I'd prefer to have Snyder writing Batman all the time.
Me too. I didn't like the stuff earlier on. That's like, I guess that's why I really wasn't liking Batman at first. It kind of grew on me though, but I really wasn't liking how, like how he made. Oh yeah, I mean I like that kind of stuff. Like I said, it kind of grew on me. But whenever he was talking about how he became suicidal when his parents died, I was like, man, that's just not Batman,
Where I'm opposite, I enjoyed that part of it. Like we talked before about how I like it kind of brought a human element to him, and how Drew was talking about the comparison between Bane and Bruce's upbringing. They tried to make it like they're very similar, but yet how they chose. Of course, Bane lived in a pretty horrible childhood, so it wasn't like a lush mansion. But what you do with yourself and how you portray yourself at the end, attitude and everything. I think that was a big point for me. I had bent to cover. So my first book is, I think I'm the one who read this, is by Alterna Comics, The Wicked Righteous. Most of these are only like $1.50 each, which is nice, which is really cool for an indie book. Pick it up. It actually has real comic pages, the newspaper style print, versus the slick pages.
You don't see that much.
Huh? You don't see that? Well, I mean, that's probably why it's $1.50.
I mean, that explains the $1.50 price tag. Definitely.
Yeah. This is kind of. I read some other alternative publishing stories before. This is kind of in the same vein. The story about 3 brothers it's almost like Rapture, or at least that's what they compare it to. They don't know if it's Rapture. A lot of people are dying off. Their mom dies off, and it's implied that their dad kills himself. And they're 3 young brothers, and then it shows 2 years later they're surviving in this apocalypse, essentially, where a lot of people have died. And like it says here, let me find that little print where it talks about that at 1900 hours the area is closed, blah blah blah. It says that do not travel outside the safety zone now is prohibited. So I mean, it's kind of interesting book. The main character, which you think is the main character there, ends up getting blasted later. They don't show if he's dead or not. I think it's implied that he's dead or dying. But for $1.50, dude, it's worth a definite pickup and a read. I mean,
you say he got blasted?
You get $1. What's
You say he got blasted?
Yeah, he got shot.
Oh,
shot.
He didn't
blasted.
get stashed?
It's a stash for me. I mean, especially like I said, when you have comics that are $5 or $6 a piece and they're garbage.
No doubt, yeah.
And picking up a book for $1.50 and it's a decent read, I'd do that all day long. Like I said, I picked up other comics by Alternative Comics as well. This is Terry Mayo and Lucas Romero, a writer and artist on this. So it definitely worth the $1.50 pickup. And that is my book. So we'll move on to you, Drew. What's your second book?
Let's go ahead and I'll throw something out there that nobody else read. We'll talk about this for a minute. Al Ewing's Ultimate Squared number 100. Ultimate Squared number 8 or something like that. I don't know where they ended this series, but it ends up being 100 books. I don't know how they come up with that math, but whatever. It's Al Ewing's taken the opportunity after Secret Wars to really rebuild the Marvel cosmology. He chained up Eternity. He made Galactus the Life-Bringer as opposed to the Devourer of Worlds. He's taken the opportunity to also make Blue Marvel really interesting and give me a chance to enjoy more Black Panther. And he writes Carol Danvers in a way that doesn't make me want to slap her in the mouth. And I really enjoy that.
Domestic
really
violence.
rewritten the Marvel. I mean, everything I read her in, Civil War II, her own solo title, which I dropped very quickly. She's just a pain in my ass. I'm not a fan of her. But I do like her in this book for some reason.
Never got
She's
that
really great.
from some of your other videos.
I also like America Chavez in this, and her book's unreadable. So that's really impressive to me that Al Ewing can do that. But he's taken the moment to rewrite the Marvel cosmology, deals with a lot of Jack Kirby stuff from back in the day, and really does a good job with chaos and order and all kinds of cosmic nonsense in the Marvel universe. I would really hope that the editors at Marvel take a moment to see what he has done and put it into play in other ways throughout the Marvel universe. But I think a lot of it's going to be lost on the fact that Al Ewing kind of did his own thing. They let him do his own thing, and they're not paying much attention to it. But I really enjoyed this. It gives Galactus a chance to shine. The Maker is the villain in this. He has employed the Lost Avengers from the Ultimate Universe, the original Ultimates, and there's some really great stuff in there. And I did enjoy the book. And I suggest if you're interested in Marvel Cosmic at all, go back and read through Al Ewing's Ultimates because there's some really cool stuff in there.
Yeah. Paul, what's your next book?
Next book for me will be the Sandman Special 1.
Yeah.
It was only okay. I mean, I guess because I never really dug the Kirby Sandman. I like the Golden Age Sandman, and I like, the Neil Gaiman Sandman. And this Sandman just never did it for me, so it's really hard for me to try to like this.
Is it the same character, the Jack Kirby one and the Neil Gaiman one?
No, not even close.
No.
And it's not related to the Golden Age one really either. So
okay. I was wondering because they look completely different, but I didn't know if it was just a new take on the character.
I mean, I will say that the first story, the art was very Kirby-esque, which I really liked, but for me, it's kind of a reluctant blast because I just never got into that character.
I picked it up. I just didn't get to read it. I did flip through it, and you're right, it's real Kirby-esque. So.
Mike, what do you think of Sandman?
I'm going to go on the opposite spectrum here. I wasn't too familiar with this character. But I really dug him. He could basically, enter your dreams, and if you're having a nightmare or whatever, fix it. And the first story that Paul was talking about, this kid is having a nightmare, so Sandman actually decides to enter his dreams, and come to find out, this kid has got such a creative imagination. He's taking care of his own shit. He created his own hero. So Sandman don't even need to be there, and you come to find out that this kid is a young Jack Kirby.
Oh wow!
I thought that was pretty cool. And as far as the rest of the book, I really didn't read it. There's some classic Kirby stories in here, but so yeah, this was actually stashed for me. I kind of dug that first story. So
you didn't read it, Jeremy? You said
no. I'm gonna read it, but you can you go ahead and talk about it because I want to know if it's good or not.
So. Yeah, so you didn't read the second story. Was it Crisis on the Caravan? That was the second story, Mike.
I might have read that one and skipped the
old Kirby one.
Oh yeah, okay. I read the Caravan of Crisis. Yeah, I read that one.
So what I do like about this one compared to New Gods, I guess New Gods had its own story, which I thought was great. It didn't really connect to Kirby at all, other than those characters that he created and. Kind of, I think they're trying to follow his art style some, but Kirby is actually in both of these stories, which is kind of cool. Even in the Caravan, Crisis on the Caravan, where Sandman's going to stop this train with these people on there, and who are those two guys with him? Glob and which I mean, Paul probably knows more of those characters too. But
did he say Groot?
I don't think Groot.
Brute. Isn't it Brute?
Something. Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah,
I am Brute.
Brute.
I am Brute.
So they find they stop this train these people are trapped on in this dream world, and they find out that Jack Kirby is one of old Jack Kirby is one of the people on the train. They end up saving him, which is it must be his son. He's talking to him about I can still remember you here. It was a stash. It wasn't as good as New Gods. But a nice tribute to Kirby, I think.
I like how they put like you say, y'all said they were in. They put him in both stories. They even if you remember, they put him in the first Commandy book when they brought it back.
Oh yeah,
he was in Commandy Challenge #1. Yeah,
I'd have to go back and look. I don't remember that.
Yeah, wasn't he just like drawn in a panel or something?
He was he owned a store or something like that, and he's like,
yeah,
sorry, Mr. Kirby, or something like that.
Wasn't Commandy Challenge like 800 pages or something?
Still going.
I don't know if it was 800 pages. It was that, yeah.
Isn't Commandy Challenge still going?
Yeah. Jim Lee's on the cover for the next one.
Anybody still reading that?
I am. I'm probably going to pick up all 12 issues.
I actually didn't pick up the Sandman. I actually know absolutely nothing about Sandman at all. I don't know anything about the Neil Gaiman or the Silver Age, or I'm sorry, the Golden Age. But the way you guys talk about it, I probably will be picking this up.
That's the same way me, Drew. Whenever, because everybody kept telling me when I was, going to pick up metal, there was like the last page is bananas. And I was like, me and my buddy that went to the midnight release when we was talking about it, I was like, who you think's on the last page? And I was saying it's going to be Darkseid. They're going to bring Darkseid back. I just figured they would because they had Calabac and they was talking about Darkseid coming, in the New God special. So I was like, well, maybe they're bringing Darkseid back.
Yeah, I think they're going to avoid that and do a lot of stuff with that leading into Mr. Miracle. So we'll see.
Sandman is probably the character that I can't think of any other character so much that the Golden Age, the Silver Age, and the Modern Age interpretations are all so completely different. I mean, there's nothing in common with any of them.
Right. I hear great things about the game and stuff, and I hear great things about the Golden Age stuff, and it's just not.
I was going to say, I've ever gotten to do. The Neil Gaiman stuff ain't the comics based off books that he wrote?
I think he wrote the comics first.
Did he write the comics first? Okay, I knew he had books about Sandman. Because I'd heard people that actually read books talk about.
Gaiman for me is so hit or miss though.
I've never read nothing he's done. I've always heard he does good stuff though. So,
real quick shout out to you're talking about Sandman in the Golden Age. There's a podcast I listen to. It's called Comics in the Golden Age, which they go back and they pick out some of these Golden Age characters and read the books and actually talk about them. Sandman was one of the podcasts I actually listened to, and like they were talking about the difference between Sandman between now and then. Like the old Sandman had like a trench coat, I think, and a gas mask and like a actual hat. Yeah. It's more of a crime fighter kind of guy.
Silver Age Sandman.
If It was very, very similar to like The Shadow and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. If you want to check out the Golden Age character without spending $1 bazillion, when Vertigo was out, they did a series called Sandman Mystery Theater, and that was the Golden Age Sandman.
They just did reprints.
Don't Marvel have a character named Sandman though?
It was a completely new series but had that same style.
I thought it was like an X-Men classic kind of style where they just release reprints, but
does Marvel has a character named Sandman too, right?
Yeah, the one in
he's a Spider-Man villain.
Yeah. I thought so. I thought he was something with Sandman because Lowell from Wings played.
Yeah, he's Lowell from Wings. Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. Lowell.
And I guess we move on to Mike. What's your next book?
Oh, let's do one that nobody's read. That's Hercules: Wrath of the Heavens.
Oh wow.
This is a great book if you like mythology, Hercules stuff. If you like science fiction, old school heavy metal magazines stuff.
That cover's stout.
The artwork inside is pretty amazing too. Let me show you guys.
And it looked like The Rock to me.
Who's the publisher?
Titan. $5.99, but it's a pretty thick book, and there's no ads in it. Let me show you some.
Is that monthly?
Yeah, it's like many, many, many years in the future, and Hercules is, not a god no more. And I have to read it again because I read these books so fast because of my work schedule. And he's actually hunting this tiger thing. If I could find that actually devours children. Right there. That's another cover right there. It's a pretty good book. I loved it. It's not my pick of the week, though. But like I said, if you love science fiction and mythology all thrown into one with a heavy metal feel. Hey, Paul, did you see the newest issue of Heavy Metal? It's actually a heavy metal special. I was gonna.
Oh, really?
I was gonna get it, but I think it's like $8 or $9 now. So.
And Jeremy, you have any more books?
I do. I have one more book, and that's Regression #4. I think I'm the only person on the panel that reads that book. But it's consistently been awesome. I think Cullen Bunn is still writing it. I don't know who's doing the art, but I don't have my issue right here by me either. But it picks up where the third one left off. The guy's still having those past life regression things, and the other whatever it is that the personality that he snaps into is starting to take over his daily life, and he's like starting to like freak people out. And he's in the last issue leaves off where he's in this museum with this girl that he's like kind of trying to date or whatever, and like he freaks her out because it's not him. It's not him. And she ends up saying later on she can tell that it's not him, and she like kicks him in the balls and like all this kind of stuff, and like he's got blood all over him, and it's wild, man. You just have to. Regression has been great though. He's trying to go back. He had that. I think it was at issue 2 or issue 1 where he was having these like walking nightmares where he was awake, but everything he would like start seeing stuff that like wasn't there. So she took him to this hypnotist.
Call the Sandman.
She took him to this hypnotist, and he hypnotized him and like brought all that stuff. And ever since then, he's been like snapping out of it and killing people and stuff. And it's been a really good book. It ended like we might be going to get some answers on like what's going on. It ends with she takes him to this chick that hypnotizes him again, and like goes back trying to find some answers of what's going on. And the way the book ends is he's inside of his head with the other character that's inside of his head. So yeah, it's a great book. If you ain't reading Regression, I'd recommend picking it up. It would be a really good horror movie if they ever decided to make it into a horror movie. But it's a stash for me.
Okay. Yeah, I've been meaning to pick those up, but picking up Plastic, and then what was the other one I picked up?
How is Plastic? Yeah,
it's not too bad. I like it. one more issue left to go. It's only 5 issues long in that miniseries. And the other one I pick up is, it's Ed Brubaker book. I can't remember. Kill or Be Killed is the other one. They're not on my pull list, but I pick them up when I can. There's so many books on my pull list that it's like I keep forgetting about Regression. My next book is this is 25-cent introductory issue. It is Sheena #0. I really wanted the J. Scott Campbell cover, but I guess that was a 1 in 25 variant maybe, and so they didn't get that. I actually like this cover. I think a little better than J. Scott Campbell. To me, J. Scott Campbell. This is you would ask me, Mantovani.
Oh wow!
But I actually like this cover better. J. Scott Campbell makes his characters always look a little elfish to me. I don't know. I just I'm not a huge fan of his art. I'll buy it because it does sell.
Someone said on one of their videos that you could take every J. Scott Campbell female and have them bald and just swap wigs, and it's the same character.
Yeah, pretty much.
The art
doesn't make them look any worse. They still look freaking amazing.
The art in this book is pretty good, though. I enjoyed the art. I was kind of confused on what was going on with the story.
That looks like enjoyable art.
What's that?
Huge jugs on that chick.
Yeah.
I said it looks like enjoyable art. There's huge jugs on that chick.
The story itself is only half the comic because it's 25-cent issue. But I'm a little confused on what was going on. She's shooting these things at this guy, and we do find out that it's apparently they're drones or something. Drones have been taking pictures. She finds like this modern stuff in her jungle. She's trying to get it out. Got some cool other cover art that was available for it, but I don't know. I don't think I'd pick up issue 2. It's not my thing. There's the J. Scott Campbell cover, I think, for 1. It's a blast for me. I'm not going to be picking up issue 1 on that. Mike, I know you read that too.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick up issue 1, see how it goes, see what the story's like. Mainly for the simple fact it's a blonde chick with blue eyes, half naked, running around the jungle. Goddamn, Grandpa's sold right there.
Cheetah print.
And cheetah print. But yeah, I'll give it a few more, see where it goes, and yeah, stash it.
Golden Car Comics jumped in here.
Hey, Golden Car. What's up?
Golden Car.
What's up, Golden Car?
Okay, Drew, do you have another book you want to talk about?
I do. Before I talk about Super Sons #7, for Midwest, I'll do a little Balmer accent for you there. He doesn't believe that I'm from Baltimore. I'm the only person from Baltimore who pronounces the T in Baltimore. But when we go down the ocean, hon, we just throw our bug cans in the bay there. Nobody cares about why you throw the bug cans in the bay, and later there's nothing in the bay. You just drink your beer, you eat your Old Bay and crabs, and you just call it a day. That's all there's there.
Okay, I could vouch for that because I worked out of Baltimore for 10 years. So,
I can as well. Ravens. I mean, I actually brought it up. I said, "How are you from Baltimore?" It's pronounced Balmer when you're from the local. Because my grandparents lived in.
Hey man, I had a girl from New Jersey tell me I talk like the people do on the news, so I guess I conceal my accent quite well. I notice it sometimes when I watch my videos back, some of my O's, those every now and again, because the O's, hon. You gotta support your O's, hon. Right now, I'm drinking Dead Rise. Yeah, we brought that up as well. That's a Baltimore brew, Old Bay, and beer, and that's pretty. But let's talk about Super Sons, since this is a comic show. #7, I picked up that Dustin Nguyen variant cover.
Yeah, I love
Beautiful. Those. And I also picked up the regular cover as well. I'm picking up both of those. Absolutely love this. Everything I don't like about Teen Titans right now is fixed by Super Sons, bringing the Teen Titans into that book. Tomasi is the perfect writer for Damian, and also the perfect writer for John, as well as I believe he created the character. Really good stuff there. You got the Teen Titans are really accepting John as one of their own, where Damian has kind of kept him at arm's length. And there's some really great action in this book. Damian was turned into a geriatric version of himself, and there's a lot of really great gags about him, having to use the bathroom quite frequently because he's old. Every one of these jokes really lands. I read a lot of books, jokes. I'm like, okay, haha, I get what they're going for. Very rarely does a book make me laugh out loud. It's just like Batman did this week. Super Sons has me rolling every week. It's the characterizations of these kids are absolutely spot on. Menez's art is on point as well. Can't say enough good things about it. This is definitely my pick of the week. Super Stash on Super Sons.
Super Stash.
And Mike, what about you?
That duck right there, he's looking like, what the fuck is wrong with you guys? I love that duck on the cover. But yeah, Super Sons, turn your phone off. What more can I say? Drew said it all. I've been loving it since issue 1. So
That's all you got?
that's all I got, man.
Okay, then I'll go.
Look, some of us worked all day. We're tired. We didn't call out sick.
I believe in yourself, Grandpa. But it's issue, isn't it?
Fire is fucking hot. How about that?
As Drew said, that where Teen Titans are lacking, this is picking up. That I would say that's very true with me too. Super Sons has been consistently good, consistently one of my picks of the week since it's been out. I do love this issue because Robin, why can't I think of his freaking name? Damian, for a long time was like, dude, you can't be a Teen Titan. You're not worth, they giving him crap this whole time. And then when Jonathan comes in, he kicks ass and he helps the team out tremendously. One, because Damian is kind of down and out because he is an old. What's it? Last week or last time he looked kind of like a. I can't remember his name now, but soon as Damian gets reverted back to his old self, I was like, dude, Jonathan, you're a dumbass. We don't need you. Kind of treating him like crap again. But I think he's already proven himself to the rest of the team that he needs to be there. He's a vital part of the Teen Titans if they need him. So definitely Stash for me. Continuing to pick this up. I've been teetering on the edge of dropping Teen Titans, but this one definitely not. This has been consistently good. So, and Paul, do you have any more books?
Just briefly, Kill the Minotaur 3. Still a really solid book. If you like the first 2, you're going to like this one. More blood, more death, more monster.
Vagina rocks.
I don't think they had any vagina rocks in this one.
No vagina rocks in this one?
They did have boobs in it.
Oh, okay.
Which book is that?
Kill the Minotaur.
Aim High's asking who won the contest. If
Nobody yet.
If you're talking about our Summer Spectacular contest, who nobody has entered yet. Well, we actually got like 6 people, but that ends on August the 28th. So you still got some time, Aim High. Or did Aim High?
Oh,
Aim
maybe
High
I'll
entered.
enter.
He's one of the entries.
Yeah, he's one of the entries. So
that's why he's wanting to know.
I'll cut you Aim High.
Do you want to go over that contest real quick, Mike? For anybody maybe watching and didn't hear it before, kind of like a quick rundown.
So those of you who don't know, we have our Summer Spectacular contest going on right now. Basically, you gotta turn the Blasted or Stash It crew into superheroes. You could either you could draw them. You could. I don't know the exact rules. I don't have that paper handy. I wasn't expecting this, but and that U.S. citizens only. Funds are tight, so
no damn foreigners.
What else? No damn foreigners. We love you guys. We're just kidding. We do have 6 entries. We have Funk Off, Tats Comics, Aim High, Siki Nearmint, Marco 808, and Kelly Weir from Bubba's List. So
And my wife entered one, but she doesn't count.
Yeah. Mighty Elder snuck one in there.
You'd be sleeping on the couch tonight.
I sleep on the couch every night anyhow, so it doesn't make a difference. To piggyback onto where you're talking there, we do have a playlist with those videos down and on our channel. If you want an idea of what to do, you can go look at those other videos and kind of get an idea of what you want. You don't have to draw it out. Drawing out was extra bonus points. If you just talk about each person and their powers and weaknesses, you get an entry. So drawing it was just a bonus added on. So,
and you guys will be getting for the prize. You'll be getting a box from each of us.
Yeah.
August 28th will be August 28th is when I'm unprepared for this.
I think Mike's drinking tonight. What the hell?
August 28th will be It'll be the day.
No, I'll be drinking tomorrow at the baseball game.
August 28th is the end?
August 20 is the end, and then we're going to do the drawing the next show. Right?
Well, we could do it till the 31st and do the first. It'd be the next show. September 1st is our... Whatever you want to do.
Can't you, man? We really planned this fucker out.
I hate when mom and dad play.
We're professionals, kids.
I did want to add a couple things that I'll probably be adding in there. Probably from the Rose City Comic Con, so I'll probably get some exclusive stuff. Maybe not exclusive stuff, but I'll be getting some stuff from Rose City Comic Con to add into my prize box. And that may be a book or two with some signatures on it. I don't know, but I'm definitely probably going to be doing that. So my box probably won't be out until after the 10th of September. But I just want to get some good stuff in there. So
remember the 10th of September.
Mike, do you have any more books you want to talk about real quick?
Yeah, we'll just fly through them. And
okay,
then, I'll do my pick of the week for last. Genius Cartel. Fuck this book. This is my worst pick of the week right here.
Mercy.
I have no fucking clue what's going on in this book. Divinity Zero. I'm really, really trying to get into the Valiant universe before they, as you can see, Nidjack versus the Valiant universe, the live action show. This is pretty good. Green Lanterns, they're still in fucking space. I'm so close to dropping this title. They need to go back to Earth and, chill out on the front porch like they used to. Blast for me.
I had to mute you, Mike, because I haven't read that book, but I just want to point out the Green Lanterns are supposed to be in space.
Fuck you.
It's like, why is Dead Man a ghost?
Yeah.
Why can't Dead Man stop being a ghost, man?
Why does Batman only fight crime at night? Come on, guys.
Why are Batman's parents dead?
I'm just messing with you, Mike.
Amazing Spider-Man, Renew Your Vows. I love this universe they're building with Renew Your Vows.
Oh, God, that's great.
This is pretty much a father-daughter team-up issue with Spiderling and Peter getting the Green Goblin soon. So pretty excited for that.
That dude's hair?
Being one. That's how the Osborn hair is, man.
He's got sound. Yeah. He's got Wi-Fi. He's got Wi-Fi signals coming off his hair.
He's got full signal right there.
Yeah.
Genetically tiger-headed.
Yeah.
Aquaman 27. Killing it in this book. If you're not reading Aquaman, I don't know what's wrong with you. And my pick of the week.
It's Aquaman.
Fucking wait. No. Spider-Man 2, number 2.
Oh, wow. Who would have thought that?
Really? I think the Miles and Peter just hanging out, picking on each other, and amazing stuff.
I really didn't like the first issue, so I didn't pick that up. I didn't like the way that they made Spider-Man, I guess the Miles character. I didn't like the way that they made him aware of Secret Wars, because it automatically takes him from being a normal kid in the neighborhood to being an alien because he's from another dimension.
Gotcha.
He knows he's from another dimension. I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all.
That's that's during the time frame I wasn't reading. I think I jumped on. I started collecting right after Secret Wars. So, yeah. Then you got one of my another favorite villain in here, Taskmaster, and you got the evil Miles. I think it's just awesome stuff. So, great cover here, variant cover. Pick of the week, Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 2.
Okay,
it's
so
raining men.
We'll go ahead and wrap up the general comic portion of the show. We'll jump into Paul and I's Kickstarter corner. Let me jump in here and I will do a screen share and show you what book we're talking about this week. And where is it? I don't have it. One sec here. You can go to start talking about it while I'm looking it up here.
Again, this is our stellar planning here.
Hey,
we did.
Hey, I don't need any crap from you.
If I wanted any crap from you, I'd squeeze your head.
Oh,
there you go. Okay.
The book we're doing this week is called Corsair. It's written by, I think he's an English guy, Nick Gonzo. The artist by Magician's House. It's a new artist from the United States. It's a girl. I know that much. It's a mix of horror, detective, and I don't know. It's a mix of horror, detective, and ghost story involving English folklore. I mean, sign me up. That's like everything I'm into right there. We got the press kit, which included the first 5 pages as well as some color page samples. The main character in the book, in the comic, is part of this group called the Order. They maintain the balance between the modern world and the ancient one. What I read really hooked me. I'm kind of glad I didn't read the whole thing because I want to check out the whole thing as an actual comic. The art really fits the noir tone of the story. It's dark. It's got that, like I said, the noir feel for the detective side of it. Supposedly, it's got later on in the book, it's got a twist on the standard haunted house. So yeah, I'm definitely into this one. I think it's fully funded now. It was at like 90% when we got the press kit. And I think the rewards were reasonable. So, what did you think?
Yeah, it kind of had a John Constantine kind of vibe to it.
Nice.
You know, with the main character. But what's cool is they're talking about like English folklore and stuff like that. So it's like bringing it off of like U.S. soil and bringing other cultures into it, which I think is kind of cool, and get a different kind of view on that kind of stuff. Yeah, some of the rewards, or I don't know if it's rewards. So you pledge £5 or about $7. You get a physical copy of the book. It's a 28-page full color, which is not too bad. I'm not sure if that includes shipping or not. But yeah, if you scroll down here to the different pledges and stuff you can get, some of the rewards down toward the bottom. Like I said, we only got 5 pages of it, so it does. That left me wanting enough at least to finish that first issue and kind of see where it's going from there. Because the main character is really reluctant to kind of take this case on at first. He didn't want to do it, and then his supervisor convinces him to take it on, and that's kind of where we end up leaving it off right there. So definitely a cool book. Go check it out. If anything, you can pledge $4 and get a digital copy of the book. And check it out. So that's my take on it. So we'll go ahead and jump into Grandpa's little segment.
And it's going to be little tonight, let me tell you.
And it always is little. That's the problem.
Isn't it always?
It is. Shut your fucking mouth.
Well, wait 1 second. DruManchu has not shown his giant man thing yet.
Well, my man thing is giant.
Oh, there's his giant size man thing.
I love that thing. That thing's cool. That was a Build-A-Figure?
Yeah, man, from the Netflix wave. There's hold on, I got Blade. the Netflix Daredevil.
Matt Murdock.
This figure kind of suffers from big head syndrome, but beyond that, it's pretty cool.
That's because he's been reading his own books or watching his own TV show.
There's the Bullseye who's got the throwing knife effect, which is pretty cool. I definitely dig that. He has the Colin Farrell head. I don't have it out of the box right now to show you. John Bernthal Punisher figure.
Man. I got to get that one at least.
That's absolutely insane. That's really cool. That's a case, so that should be pretty easy to find. The Daredevil and the Punisher are the two per case on that. It seems to be the one that's hard to find right now, and that's the Jessica Jones.
Oh, nice.
Where do you I'll be honest, it's a pretty shitty figure as far as posability.
Yeah.
It's pretty much standard Marvel Legend fare, but if you can see her face sculpt, that's pretty dead on.
Yeah, pretty much.
Jessica Jones. It's pretty much dead on for Kristen Ritter. I also grabbed the Elektra. This is kind of the disappointment.
Where do you buy those at?
You can have a Toys R Us, Target, Walgreens. They're like $20 a figure. I walked into Toys R Us last Saturday, and they had the entire wave, and that never happens. I dropped $120 on it right there. I was like, yeah, 6 figures, $20 a piece. Sure, why not? And then proceeded to go to a barbecue festival and waste like another $120. Oh, it was a big Saturday. It was a big Saturday for Drew. But it was worth it.
We digress a little bit from your segment there, Mike. Why don't you go right ahead?
I don't really have a lot this week. Real quick. Hot topic. I talked about it last week's getting the Diamond series. Disney princesses with Diamond series is they just add glitter to the paint. And Belle should be out any day now. The next one I'm interested in only because it's my favorite Disney villain, and that's Ursula from The Little Mermaid. She's going to get the old Diamond treatment.
Yeah, so like she'll be ladies, Mike.
I love them big ladies with lots of tentacles. Nightmare Before Christmas. Sally rock candies are coming. One of them, she's gonna have just a spoon in her hand, and the other, the Hot Topic exclusive, is she's gonna have her cat. So be on the lookout for those. October, we're getting Elena of Avalor. Apparently, that's a Disney series. I'm not familiar with it. A photo was leaked of a new pop ride coming, and it's Boba Fett with Slave One, which I am so exactly. So
probably smugglers.
Don't know. I don't know. Like I said, it was just a picture. Boba Fett driving a little Slave One. Don't know when it's going to be released. If it's going to be released, if it was a custom, I don't know. Video game fans, Team Fortress 2, you're getting pops in October. You're going to get the Scout, the Medic, the Heavy, Peabody, and the Turret. And last but not least, Portal 2. Any fans of that? You're going to get Atlas and Shell pops. If you ordered the Diamond Emma Frost, where she's in her diamond form, Pop in the Box, they are shipping now. I got a confirmation email because I did order one, so they should be, headed your way soon. And that's really all I got for the news. I didn't get any pops this week. This guy did fall off my. Oh no! This guy did fall off my entertainment center. Where's my camera at?
That Marv is insane.
Marv, I don't know where his gun is. I think it flew under the entertainment center. He's got his cross and everything. I got a bunch of these sitting up top there. And if you're not familiar with the Virginia Beach area, we have a big military presence here, and the jets fly over and shake the whole house, and sometimes my action figures like to go tumbling. I showed you that one to show you the Gunslinger Spawn right here.
Yeah.
That's dope.
he is one of my favorite figures. He was on top of my entertainment. He did not fall. I just wanted to. You can see all the fucking dust on him. Look at that shit. I gotta dust him off, but so
it actually looks cool with that on it.
Yeah, it kind of does actually.
He looks weathered.
My wife would be pissed that I'd be showing something with that much dust on it live. She's like, "What in the hell are you doing?"
My mom's probably going to get him after the show if she ever finds out.
No, she. As a matter of fact, she dusts the whole house, but she refuses to come in here and dust because she's afraid she's going to break something. So, whatever. And that's really all I got.
Get that compressed air to dust those figures and Legos and shit, man.
Yeah. I don't know.
I also grabbed an Ares.
Yeah.
And the Hela.
Oh, I like that Hela.
Speaking of Hela, that's the new Thor Ragnarok's the new Marvel Collector Core box with her on the.
Check that out.
I wouldn't have thought about it if you had to show that Hela because she's on the box. So, but I did get a pop this week when my best friend come pick me up. We had to drive like 2 hours, hour and a half to go to the midnight launch for Metal. And he was like, "I got you something." He's like reaching his back seat and pulled out
a pair of panties.
No.
Oh man, you fucker!
Yeah, he found 2 of them at a store, and he collects Chase Pops. So shout out to my boy Nathan if he watches this.
What's up, Nathan?
He collects Chase Pops and Dorbs. So he had found 2 of these, and he got them for like regular pop price. So super cool of him to do that. We actually went over there for the midnight release. We got over there really early. They were opening at like 11, and you had to stand around till 12. We were there at 9. And to kill time, once they let us in there, I was like, they had like where people had drawn stuff and you put it on the wall. So you know me, I had to draw a Batman. They hung it up on the wall. It's like, I'm gonna hang this one up here. I was like, well, dang. So,
no other Funkos. Looks like Midwest has left to go grab another bottle of beer. So go ahead and shut your segment up.
Shut your Funko mouth!
What the hell you doing, Mike? Oh, it's your dog. I was trying to figure out what the hell is going on.
I thought he fell out of his chair. That's just what I'm saying.
Might want to pick up that gun or find that gun before Kylo gets a hold of it and chews it up.
Yeah.
He already chewed it up by my Legends Punisher. So. Yeah,
I know. Cool.
Oh.
The Great Legend gave you a Punisher.
Oh God, Mike has died. This is the last episode for Mike.
Yeah, it's a horror movie. It's like first person shooter, like.
And so we'll jump into Trinity. Do you got any movie news tonight for us?
Yes, I do. I'm gonna go ahead. Can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay. Apparently, we got the first teaser for Netflix's The Punisher, and it's absolutely awesome. It don't really show much. It shows little glimpses. If you haven't seen it, I'm not going to watch it on here, but I stopped it right here just to show that. Because the whole thing is just him slamming the concrete with that sledgehammer. And then, like, at the end of it, he walks off, and that's what the concrete looks like. You can find it online. Go watch it. Or if you're watching Defenders, it's supposedly at the end of the last episode. And so I wanted to show this. What do you guys think about this? Walking Dead producers claim massive AMC profit scam in new lawsuit. And
what?
Yes, it says the new case follows one from Frank Darabont, the show's other creator, who was fired as executive producer in the middle of the second season and is demanding $280 million in an accounting lawsuit that has reached the summary judgment phase. Now, the other key creatives on the series are targeting significant damages of their own, with participation of Kirkman, whose comic books served as the source material for Walking Dead, and Hurd and Alpert, who continue to work on the series. AMC finds itself in court against those whose ongoing involvement is crucial to Walking Dead and perhaps AMC's future. The case arises from a majority entertainment conglomerate's failure to honor its contractual obligations to the creative people, the talent in industry jargon, behind the wildly successful and hugely profitable long-running television series Walking Dead. Opens the complaint filed Monday in Los Angeles Superior Court. The defendant AMC entities exploited their vertically integrated corporate structure to combine both the production and the exhibition of Walking Dead, which allowed AMC to keep the lion's share of the series' enormous profits for itself and not share it with the plaintiffs as required by their contracts.
I just want to point out that Jeremy said vertically integrated.
Reviews from the Batcave.
I'd just like to say Hollywood screwing the creators out of their fucking money.
Yeah, supposedly it's supposed to be like a bunch of money. And like,
if you listen to Hollywood, there hasn't been a movie that's made money in 80 years.
Yeah. They if they don't do something, it said zombie series potential damages could reach $1 billion. So if they don't figure out something, Walking Dead could be ended soon.
I don't think it's going to end. It's too big of a phenomenon that they're not just going to go, okay, well, they want money, we're just going to end the show. I don't think AMC would do that. I think they'll probably come to agreement. I don't think it's going to be as much as what they want.
Yeah.
But it's got to come to agreement. It's too big of a show for them just to walk away from.
Well, that's what, I agree there. But, I mean, if Robert Kirkman isn't – if they don't make him happy, then he's not going to write it anymore.
Yeah. I mean, but –
Well,
somebody else is talking there.
Oh, wasn't he planning on this season being his last, but then something like that?
No. He made a statement that he knows how he wants to end it, but it's not ending anytime soon. And websites went to clickbaity with that, and he even debunked it on Twitter. He's like, I did not say I was ending The Walking Dead.
Okay.
Yeah, he
said.
What'd you say?
I think the issue here is that TV is not as profitable.
Yeah.
AMC is not as willing to share a bigger piece of a small pie they have in the past. And, I could see this being the end of The Walking Dead. It's been running for what, 8? It's on its 8th season right now?
8 seasons coming up.
Yeah, about to start 8.
8 seasons is a really long run on TV.
It is.
How many shows recently have gone past 8 seasons? Not a lot.
Supernatural.
CW garbage.
I wouldn't call it garbage, but
I don't know. My 13-year-old daughter watches it. I can't get into it. So
it's not the show that it started out being. I can say you that. I just continue to watch it because I'm loyal to the characters and I like it.
Hey man, if you dig it, it is what it is. But for my money, I'm not a huge fan of any show that goes past 8 to 10 seasons.
Yeah.
That at that point it starts to lose steam. I really like The Walking Dead, and I hope that it's not going away. But that being said, the last season, there were a couple of really, really great Negan-centric episodes, and beyond that, it was, skippable, in my opinion. I think that they're focusing a lot on the Fear the Walking Dead as well. It's kind of a way to extend that brand.
Yeah.
And not have to worry about
people don't
paying Andrew Lincoln $1 million.
Yeah, plus, that's like completely fresh. Nobody has nothing to do. They don't know what to speculate on from comic. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Have comics to say, well, this is coming, yeah. So you never know what's going to be in anywhere.
I don't know. I just think that this could spell the end for The Walking Dead as it is, and could completely spin off into Fear the Walking Dead in a different way, and that even Kirkman has any reason to be involved with. I think that if contractually they can use the name The Walking Dead, they can do whatever the hell they want with it and not have to worry about creators. And I think that if the creators aren't smart about it, they might end up cutting themselves out of a smaller piece of a smaller pie. AMC just basically taking the thing and running with it.
I should share a nasty pic against it's Jeremy's screen sharing. Maybe I'll find one and share it so it pops up on the live feed.
I will eject you from your own show. No, I'm playing. I'm going to move on. Ozark, if you know what that is, it's a Netflix series. It just really came out about a month ago, and it's already got renewed for a season 2, and it's been described in this article, at least, as Breaking Bad meets Justified. If you've ever watched any of those shows, people who know, I've been telling people the show is Breaking Bad. I never watched Justified, but I know Breaking Bad, and I do see the Breaking Bad aspect of it. I actually told my sister when I recommended it to her. It centers around Jason Bateman. He's like a money launderer for the cartel, and something happens, and he has to like move away. So I'm not going to go in much detail on it. Definitely watch it if you have a Netflix subscription. I binged it in like 2 days. I don't know. Am I the only one that's watched it?
Yeah, my wife watches it.
I haven't had it given it a shot yet.
I really dug it. I mean, I didn't think I was gonna like it, but I saw the trailer for it because I kind of dig old Bateman there, and I started watching like the first episode, and I was like, I'm hooked. I'm hooked. So that's great. We move on to Samuel L. Jackson said he's not in Avengers Infinity War or in Avengers 4, and he don't sound happy about it either. He said, this is his actual quote, if I can get this stat right. I wasn't in the superhero argument movie, Civil War. I'm not in Avengers 3 or 4. They're shooting them now, and they haven't called me yet. They wouldn't let me go to Black Pantherville, so it's kind of like, how you going to make a Black Marvel movie and not let Nick Fury show up in it?
Because Nick Fury's white.
Oh, we're making this racial now. Oh my goodness!
Woo!
You do not
Are we
see
broadcasting from Charlottesville?
I know. I'm horrible.
Oh my goodness! You alt-right piece of crap.
I'm horrible.
Another side note, I would like to point out that I've been hearing a lot of people on YouTube say this guy's name as Josh Whedon. His name is not Josh Whedon; it's Joss. That's just it kind of grates my skin whenever they say Josh. I don't know why, but
Joshua.
I call him Will Wheaton.
Will Wheaton, stand by me.
Will Wheaton.
Okay,
I'm going to move on to news nobody asked for. The Jetsons are getting a live-action series pilot ordered by ABC.
God,
really?
Yeah.
Watched that.
You just want to see.
What about
Producer Robert
Sausage Party?
Zemeckis. It says
Call me on that.
simultaneously from
Daughter
producer
Judy for
Robert
sure.
Zemeckis, director of Back to the Future. Wow, it's been I didn't know Zemeckis. I guess I should read my own articles, huh? I don't. Are y'all excited for this in any way? Or?
That should just stick on Boomerang Channel as a cartoon and not go forward from there. As
That's
I'm
what
concerned.
I thought, man.
Depends on who is playing daughter Judy.
Scarlett Johansson.
I'm watching it. Cast Kaylee Cuoco from The Big Bang Theory. I'll watch that all
yes.
day. All day.
All day.
Who's going to be what's his
Who
name?
cares about
Elroy?
his boy Elroy? We got daughter Judy. That's all that matters.
I think they should put Peter Dinklage as Elroy.
Wow. First, let's go racial. Now let's do something else and just alienate another group of our audience.
If there are little people watching, I sincerely apologize. But
Yeah, sure.
Dinklage rocks.
Any hate email needs to go to Trinity.
Small
Comics.
segment of the audience.
Tyrion was the hand before Marvel started it. Anyway, let's go on ahead and show some awesome news. Obi-Wan Kenobi's getting his own solo film.
The outside they confirmed that.
Huh? What'd you say?
It's where he loses his memory and he forgets he has a droid with him the whole time, R2-D2, and then he doesn't realize I don't have a droid. In the old series.
Are you excited? Y'all excited for this?
Not really.
Come on,
I
man.
can't say yes.
I wasn't excited for Rogue One, and it ended up being the best Star Wars movie that I'd seen in a very long time. And so, as far as the anthology films are concerned, I'm excited for Han Solo because it's unknown. And I'll watch this, and I'll really enjoy it, I'm sure.
Me too. I like Ewan McGregor, so if they cast him in it, I'll definitely watch it. But I just want to say, since you brought it up, Rogue One, I was not a fan. Darth Vader was the best thing about that movie. I don't know. I didn't like it that much.
But I used to read a lot of the extended universe novels, and it really reminded me a lot of that stuff.
Okay, now the next three tabs are gonna focus on. There's gonna be one story, but they're all connected. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and start with this one. Ben Affleck says DC is hitting their stride with Justice League. I've never worked on a movie that didn't do reshoots, Affleck says. Argo did reshoots for a week and a half, 4 days on Gone Baby Gone. This is really nice time to work in DC. They're hitting their stride. They're getting it right. It's starting to feel like it's really working. Then he goes on to say over here, and another thing, BVS departed a little from the traditional Batman, says Affleck. He started out with all the rage directed at Superman because of his co-workers who had died in the fight with Superman and Zod. He was holding on to a lot of anger in a little bit of irrational way, Affleck says, whereas this is a much more traditional Batman. He's heroic. He does things in his own way, but he wants to save people and help people. Okay, and then the last one right here. Of course, I'm sure you all saw the headline saying Ben Affleck is out as Batman because Casey Affleck made a joke on a show, and most of the articles that were written didn't specify that he was joking. And it said, since Casey's appearance on the Dale and Holly with Keefe radio show, a representative of Affleck's reached out to BuzzFeed News and said he was having fun with the folks at the Red Sox game where he threw out the first pitch in support of the Jimmy Fund and not speaking from a place of first-hand knowledge. Shortly thereafter, Ben Affleck's own rep contacted the same outlet and stated he'll continue to be Batman as long as the studio will have him. So, what do you guys think about all this?
It still doesn't.
I think the sooner they reboot, the better.
I'm entirely tired of hearing of, is Ben Affleck Batman? Is Ben Affleck gone? Just shut the fuck up. Who cares? Just watch the movies.
Let's just recast Batman.
No, let's not recast Batman. My sentiments exactly, Paul. I mean, it seems every other week, like just to juxtapose it like this. Brie Larson's Marvel, whatchamacallit, got a new Captain Marvel movie, got a new writer this week, and somebody like put the articles like side by side that were written about that and the ones that were written about the Casey Affleck stuff, and it's clickbait stuff saying Ben Affleck's done as Batman, and it just says, well, Marvel, Captain Marvel gets a new writer. The dude was clearly joking. He says it if you watch the video, he says, because the guy says, well, that's breaking news. He said, is that breaking news? I was just kind of making that up.
Here's the thing, though. They keep posting all this stuff saying, "Oh, this is great. This is great." They need to shut up and just do the damn movie. And, to me, it's not making me like them want to watch the movie anymore. I'm tired of hearing about how they're saying how awesome this is going to be. Just do the damn movie. I don't care if Batman's in it this one time and he's never in again. I really don't care. At this point, I just want to see the movie and hope it's good because I really want DC to make a good movie. I mean, beyond Wonder Woman, but Wonder Woman was great. But I hope they do good.
The Batcave said, I heard early Justice League movie early take was unwatchable. That's why the reshoots. Yeah, they said that about Wonder Woman too. And look at that. And Patty Jenkins confirmed after Wonder Woman was out that was all BS. That everything that she shot is on screen. There's like only one deleted scene that's going to be on the Blu-ray. So
I don't know. I'll say, as far as the comparison to the Marvel movie, Marvel has a proven track record where DC does not. And Wonder Woman apparently was great. Care to see it? It's just not on my radar. Wonder Woman's never been a character that's really connected with me. And that being said, maybe that not be as excited about Justice League as some other people are. But Marvel's track record is proven versus critically panned and split the community, one way or another. Half the people hate it, half the people love it. It is what it is. If you got love for it, then that's good. For me, I think they've yet to get Superman right, and they've yet to get Batman right. The two things that you need to get right get me excited about a Justice League movie.
Superman is the way I've understood it is this is the end of Zack Snyder's arc. It was supposed to be about him discovering he has the powers, and then kind of dying, and then he's going to come back, and he's going to basically have a rebirth, and he's going to be the Superman that we've all known and loved. Because there's pictures that's been leaked of him with the spit curl. But people keep comparing it to Marvel movies. You can't do that because Marvel's got over 22 movies under their belt. DC, this DCEU only has like 4.
Right. Well, I mean, as far as that goes, that's my take on the news versus Batman turmoil versus or Captain Marvel turmoil. Marvel has a proven track record. They had an issue with Edgar Wright, and Ant-Man turned out freaking amazing. So, Joss Whedon isn't with them anymore because of Age of Ultron, but, Civil War turned out amazing, in my opinion. So you're looking at them having a proven track record of replacing people and having reshoots, having rewrites, and having a system that works. Whereas every time something comes up with Warner Brothers issue, because a lot of people did not like BVS, a lot of people were put off by Man of Steel, a lot of people don't think Justice League looks like it's cracked up to be what everybody thinks it's cracked up to be. So I'm just saying that the news is handled differently based on the track record. And I want these DC movies to be awesome, and when Wonder Woman comes out on HBO and I can watch it on a system I already pay for, then I'll watch it and it'll be great. I'm just not going to go to the movies to go see it because I couldn't care less. But that's just my personal opinion. BVS, on the other hand, I'm sure it's great for a Wonder Woman movie. But like when Rebirth came out, I read the Wonder Woman one shot and I said to myself, "Oh, it's a one shot. It's Wonder Woman. I'll give it a shot." Said, "Okay, I don't need to buy that." Wonder Woman doesn't connect with me as a character, so that puts me in a position where I already have a bias, so I'm probably not going to enjoy the Wonder Woman movie the way a lot of other people did. Honestly, it is what it is. If they can get Superman right in Justice League, if they can get Batman right in Justice League, and if Flash isn't as annoying as the trailers make him out to be, maybe it'll be a good movie. Doubt it will be, but that's my opinion.
It's not for everybody, but I enjoy it.
I've said it before. I'll say it again too. It's like DC is constantly trying to compare themselves. They're trying to catch up with Marvel. They need to not do that. They need to just worry about what their universe they're creating, not worry about what Marvel is doing over there. Yeah, sure, Marvel has been in.
I don't think they are comparing themselves to Marvel.
They're trying to catch up. They're trying to force this Justice League movie on us when we don't have a Flash solo movie. We don't have a Aquaman. And I think you need to build those first before you have a Justice League movie. But I think they're going at it past
about Cyborg before he's a linchpin in the movie.
And they're talking about the Flash movie being Flashpoint, the first movie. That is way too early to throw that storyline in.
Right, they're throwing everything at the wall.
And they just need to not worry about what Marvel do, to not worry about catching up with them, and let their movies come out at a natural pace where it's going to fit and flow well, versus trying to cram it down our throats. Which I'm going to go see any movie regardless, any of the comic book movies regardless, because I'm wanting it to be good. I really, really do. But I just think you just need to slow your roll, not try to force it out. And I think that's where the problem are. They're trying to push these out and catch up with Marvel.
I don't really think that they're trying to catch up with Marvel, but
they're definitely playing from behind. They're playing the game as if they are behind, and it's obvious to see that it
feels like they're rushing everything.
Yeah.
Right, they're rushing everything because they're scared that it won't be as successful as Marvel has been. You got Superman, that's not the most notable heroes.
Let's not get it twisted. At some point, this bubble is going to burst, and the comic book movies are going to start crapping out, and they're worried that they're going to be on the wrong side of that bell curve.
So,
I agree.
To have a cool kind of segue into something I want to talk about real quick, talk about the comic bubble bursting. It was just announced that Wizard is planning on re-releasing I guess it may be a monthly issue I mean, I did some research on it today. So the first issue of Wizard came out in 1991. That was right at the beginning of that first comic bubble burst. You know, when did it burst? About 95, maybe a little bit earlier than that. 90, right when Image started. I know that. Do you think this is a sign that we're getting up there again for that comic bubble to burst?
Sure.
Aren't magazines irrelevant now? I mean,
well, it's going to be an online magazine, so people will actually look at it.
It is. It's not going to be a paper.
Nobody reads print magazines
I think they said they're going to do a print one quarterly.
Okay.
But I mean, part of the problem was that when Wizard was out, they would sit there every week, and a comic that had been out for 2 days, he'd be like, "Yeah, it's $150," and someone would go try to sell it, and they'd get $2 from their local comics book store, and everybody said, "You know what? Fuck comics."
Yeah.
I don't see the bubble bursting anytime soon. I think that the fact that we're online right now discussing comic books and that we all buy comic books at an average rate for the average consumer, I think that's a sign that there is a market for this stuff. I think that on YouTube is a big deal. Our level right now, where we're talking, hundreds to thousands of subs. There's people out there with millions of subs discussing comics on YouTube. It's a big deal. Nerdist talks about comic books. This is not a bubble that's bursting right now. I think that a lot of people.
As long as the YouTube channel Comic Storian is still going, that dude goes every week and buys every comic book released.
Right.
And I'm like,
Comic Storian, Comics Explained. These are guys that are out there doing it, and I think that people want to say, "Oh, the bubble's going to burst because Marvel's releasing these comics at the rate they're releasing them." They might not sell as well as the comic to comic. A more diverse group of comics, things that I'm not interested. Things that you guys aren't interested in, but things that maybe our kids.
Right. Here's my whole thing.
Maybe, and they're selling. It's more niche markets.
My whole thing.
So I don't think that the print might die, but digital's still driving. Digital's still good.
I'm glad
stuff.
you said that, because Chad Ramsden in the chat said Disney is even talking about moving all books to digital and stop with print at D23. Oh. My whole thing with Marvel is the reason that I don't pick up and buy Marvel books is because, well, my favorite Marvel character, the Wolverine, is not in there anymore, so that kind of puts me out. But when I first started when I started back with Rebirth, I went to the comic shop and I bought a Marvel book and I bought a DC book. The Marvel book cost $5 and the DC book cost $3, and I liked the DC book more than I liked the Marvel book. So, I was like, well, I can get,
all right. Let me say this real quick. I hear a lot of people talk online about $5 Marvel books. $5 Marvel books are like a every once in a while thing. Marvel books are $4. Marvel books $5. They're $4. They're $3.99 for the most part. Books are mostly the $4. Most DC books are $4. Most Marvel books are $4. They're mostly the same freaking price. DC books, they release a lot of bi-weekly books that are $2.99. They're smaller books. There's less pages. There's more ads. Money where they're getting their money. If you want to read a book with no ads, buy an Image book, buy an Ultra Comics book, buy a Black Mask book. But DC is going to have 1 million ads in their books. About Snickers, 1 million times a week. Same way that I'm going to get 1 million ads for whatever there is in Marvel. There's tons of ads in these books, and it's kind of annoying. They're all the same. You're paying $4. You're paying $3. You're getting your money's worth either way, in my opinion. And not a whole lot of Marvel books are $5 or $6. Occasionally they are, and they're all oversized, and they all have less ads in them. So I don't know. I never feel like I'm getting ripped off by any of these comic companies.
Yeah, usually $5 are the first issue, and then it drops down to $4 after that, or maybe if it's a one shot, it's $5 or $6. But too, it's all dependent on what you're willing to pay. If $5 is like I'm getting entertainment for $5, that's your opinion on that too. I mean that's what you're willing to pay. You're happy with it. Why would anybody else have any complaint by it? That's what you're talking about. Where DC titles, $3 a piece, but you're getting them twice a month, so you're still paying $6 for the DC title. You may get what I think a normal comic book's 32 pages. I think you're getting 28 out of DC. So you're getting a few more pages, but you're still paying a couple dollars more a month for them. So
I mean, shit. The guys who bought that fucking Harley Quinn today, we paid $26 just for a cover.
Yeah, pretty much.
Right?
So, I mean,
I got a frame too.
Okay, so
number one had a 4-page Snickers ad in it. Like every single one of them had a 4-page Snickers ad in it. How many times you got to read about Doomsday needing a Snickers so he can calm the fuck down? I don't know.
Which is right in the center of the book too. It's like, dude, you could put an awesome big splash page, right in the center of that book instead of covered with a Snickers ad, which was kind of irritating.
Right.
The DC Rebirth one shot was like 80 pages long.
Yeah.
But like $3.
Not just the DC one, not the DC Rebirth one shot, but like all those DC number ones.
Okay.
Like
I thought you meant just
the
the
Batman
one shot.
Rebirth title, the Wonder Woman Rebirth title. Like every one of those Rebirth titles, every single one of them had a 4-page Snickers spread in it. Of course, you can sell it for $3 if Snickers is giving you $1 per issue. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jack Hill said, how much was Dark Knight's Metal? Dark Knight's Metal was $5, but it's on the thicker cardstock.
And I also
shiny covers.
It's just better cardstock, better paper.
So that's the same stock that Civil War II and Secret Wars and all those Marvel titles were printed on.
Yeah, pretty much. And you see other independent books too that have that same cardstock though that have so.
I didn't get to finish what I was saying a while ago about why I like DC so much. Like when I started reading it, like I started reading the DC because I could pick up 2 books a month for what I was paying for one Marvel book. So I connected with the DC characters more, and there's not really that many characters in the new Marvel the way it is now that I like. Now, when they do this rebirth kind of thing, that may change. I might pick up because I like the Punisher, I like Wolverine, and I don't know. I hadn't read much of X-23, but I get the feeling I might like her because Tom Taylor he writes her. So I like Tom Taylor. So
yeah, he's been writing that.
Okay. So let's jump into. So we're running almost 2 hours long. Our comic segment ran along today, too. But let's go to a quick rundown of Defenders. I know most of us seen at least the first episode and beyond. We'll start with you, Drew. What's your take on Defenders so far?
I thought it was a really slow burn on the first episode. I think that there was a line there, maybe too slow for the people who have seen the rest of the Marvel series, and maybe not slow enough for the people who haven't seen any of the Marvel series. I kind of have a different take on that since I've watched them all. I thought it was kind of a slow burn getting started. No spoilers, but as you move into the second and third episode, things start to move a little bit quicker. I thought that the first episode, especially starting with the Iron Fist stuff, left a little bit to be desired.
I thought.
We'll get to you, Trinity. Hold on a sec here. Well, Paul, go ahead.
We were going.
Sorry, I'm going off my list. It goes Drew, Paul, Mike, you, me. So go ahead, Paul.
I agree with Drew. I thought the first couple episodes were a little slow. I finished 6 so far.
No spoilers.
After 3, it's awesome. It's awesome. Every episode, at the end of every episode, I'm like, so it's definitely worth it.
Mike, how about you? Your take?
I only watched the first episode, so going in, I was like, God damn, it's Daredevil comes on screen, it's like, oh man, it's good to see you again, brother. Good to see you again. And my girlfriend Jessica comes on being the bitch she is. I love that sassy little whore. I love that. And then Luke Cage gets out of jail. I'm like, I just can't wait for all these guys to meet up and start interacting with each other. So, yeah, I loved it. I'm excited.
Jeremy?
I completely agree with Mike. It's kind of like a B League Avengers. You know, not really a B League, but I mean, you know, it's like it's the TV version of the Avengers, and I can't wait till they all meet up.
A street level Avengers.
Yeah.
If you notice in the opening sequence where they're freaking showing the actors' names and everything, the city is part of the character.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, the intro is awesome. I thought they were going to use "Come As You Are" as the theme song, which would have made me ecstatic, but I'm sad to see they didn't. So only fail so far. I'm right at the end of episode 2, and yeah, I can't wait for them to all meet up. And Charlie Cox is just killing it as Daredevil. I haven't, and I know a lot of people didn't dig Daredevil season 2. I loved it. So
I definitely know that shit. That was good.
Yeah, man. You know, I know a lot of people say the Punisher stole the show in season 2. I kind of agree there because John Bernthal is just a beast. I mean, and if we get Punisher in November, I'm going to be all over that. Yeah, I'm definitely loving it. I know. Well, I'm not gonna say what I saw in episode 2 because Mike hadn't seen it yet. So, and I don't know. I can't remember who else saw past episode 1. So, yeah.
If you open your mouth, I'm going to rattle off about 3, 4, 5, and 6.
Don't hold on.
Yeah, I saw. I was always supposed to watch the first episode because my wife was supposed to catch up with me after that. But I watched 3 episodes today because I was home not feeling good. So I'm ahead of the game. But yeah, the first episode is kind of catching up on what happened from their each individual last season. You know where Foggy's left Murdoch and you know how that relationship's going. It's definitely picking up. It is kind of slow in that first issue. I keep saying issue. God dang it. Episode.
I've been doing that all day.
Comic characters. That's easy to do.
I do like the dynamics moving forward, going to episode number 2 and episode number 3. I do like the dynamics and how it's rolling. People have complained about Iron Fist so much from his season. I didn't think it was so horrible. But that's just me.
I liked it. I liked Iron Fist.
I liked it too.
I liked it. It wasn't their best, but I'm actually liking him in this more than I did in his show.
I like him in this more than his show too.
Yeah, I agree. I liked Iron Fist for what it was. He's definitely better in this. And anybody who has started Defenders and isn't into it yet, just wait. When Danny and Luke meet each other, it becomes epic instantly. Yeah. It's magic.
I also liked how in the opening credits when you see it when it shows Luke Cage is outline thing still in there, and then Iron Fist is coming like in front of him like he's standing there, and I was like, oh.
I'm actually shocked that Jeremy agreed with Mike on that he thought that Jessica Jones is a sassy little whore. I'm surprised Jeremy said that.
I didn't say
there.
I didn't say that.
You did not say it either. So let's go ahead and cover that.
I love Jessica Jones more than.
But he agreed with him completely. So
more than Luke Cage and Iron Fist. I love her character. So
she has a lot of the best one-liners this season.
Yeah.
Was she really nailed that role though, didn't she?
Yeah.
I never read any of the comics. That show was my foray into her. So.
I knew the actress. I didn't think that she'd be able to nail it, and she really did. She came in. She's Jessica Jones, no doubt.
Is she? Did Jeremy just say he forayed into Jessica Jones?
What's that?
Is she John Ritter's daughter?
No,
she's
not.
Okay. I saw the last name and I was like,
I think it's spelled completely different too.
Is it?
I think so. I could be wrong though.
R-I-T-T.
I'll have to look it up. Well, I guess we'll go ahead and close it out tonight. I said we're running a really long 2-hour episode.
Yeah.
We'll go and start with you, Drew. Drew, any last minute shout-outs you'd like to do?
Yeah, shout out to Flying Dog Brewery and Dead Rise, the Old Bay Summer Ale. If you guys don't know anything about Balmer, you should know that we got Old Bay, we got crabs on. And shout out to Dead Rise. That has kept me in a quality mood today. Shout out to We Love Fine for this fabulous Batman Rebirth t-shirt. And shout out to everybody in the chat who came through and watched us do our thing tonight.
Midwest.
My shout out for beer goes to Line & Kugels for their Oktoberfest. This is the first Oktoberfest I've seen on the market so far. I try to get almost every Oktoberfest, at least a 6 or as many as I can find. And I would also like to give a shout out to Tylenol Cold and Sinus and NyQuil because they've kept me alive for the past few days. And to everybody in the chat for showing up because you're the reason we do this.
Spectacular Spider Grandpa.
Shout out to the service tech. He is coming off hiatus and making videos again. Really enjoy his stuff. So shout out to him. Again, I want to shout out Wendy Meeks, my watchdog. If she's still watching, she should be getting off work right about now. So shout out to her. New subscriber of mine, Joe Martinelli. He's got 74 subs, so go check him out. And thanks again for Drew for coming out this week and hanging with us and making his big return.
Yes.
Missed those face-to-face videos.
Yeah, I'm coming back with a vengeance, brother.
Trinity.
Shout out to everybody in the chat. Just like Alex Comic Quarter calls me Trinity Winfrey. We'll also give a shout out to Trilogy's Comic Corner. He gave me a really sweet deal on a Big Boy book on this first appearance of Deathstroke. So this is the first time I showed it off in a video, really. But yeah, shout out to him for that. Shout out to Paul because he's going to send me that Black Mana Pop in the A-OK. He just don't know it yet. Shout out to Reviews from the Batcave, who's been very active in the chat tonight. Just shout out Sick and Near Mint Congress. To everybody that entered our contest, shout out to you. You're the real MVP.
Nemesis.
There we go. Shout out to all the guys that on the episodes that I couldn't be here. Shout out to the guys that stepped in for me and held it down. But just everybody, like they said, y'all the reason we do this because if y'all wasn't here, we probably wouldn't go live. We just do it in the off air.
I don't have really shout outs just tonight, but I do want to say Facebook page. Go check that out. You can interact with us there. Follow us on Twitter, Blaster Stash. I think that's what it is on Twitter. I actually updated some new stuff on our Blaster Stash gear. So if you want a Trinity Mist or Teriyaki Mist shirt, I made one of those. That's on our Cafe Press site. I also have a Fuck Marvel one for Paul. That's on there too, and in our original one, I'm working on some other designs and some stuff. Make sure you go check that out if you're interested in buying some gear. And any of that stuff that we sell, that money we earn from that is going to go into prizes. And hopefully, what we like to do is be able to give a prize away or something like that every at least once a month. So if you're interested in supporting us and supporting the community, definitely go buy that stuff. So with that, guys, whether you blasted or whether you stash it, happy reading. We'll catch you next week. Bye.
Later, guys.
Later.